What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about one of the most popular goals in the gym, building bigger arms. But let's be honest, a lot of what you see online is just noise. People are wasting hours and hours doing things that barely move the needle. So today, we're cutting through that noise. I'm going to share the real, no-nonsense principles that will actually help you build impressive arms. We're going to stop wasting time and start making real progress. First things first, let's bust a huge myth. You can't build massive arms by just doing endless sets of bicep curls and tricep push-downs. Yes, isolation exercises are important, but they are not the foundation. The real foundation for big arms, and a powerful physique in general, comes from heavy compound movements. Think about it: pull-ups, chin-ups, barbell rows, bench presses, overhead presses. These exercises recruit a massive amount of muscle fibers, not just in your back and chest, but heavily in your biceps and triceps too. Your arms are forced to work as stabilizers and secondary movers under heavy loads. This creates a level of metabolic stress and mechanical tension that you simply cannot replicate with light isolation work. If your big lifts aren't getting stronger, your arms will not grow, period. So, the first rule is to prioritize getting brutally strong on your compound lifts. That's your ticket to overall size, which is the base you build upon. Now, let's talk about the structure of your arms. Your arms aren't just your biceps. In fact, your triceps make up about 2/3 of your upper arm mass. This is a game changer that so many people ignore. They'll do 10 different types of bicep curls, then throw in one half-hearted set of tricep push-downs at the end of their workout. If you want truly impressive arms that look thick and powerful from every angle, you need to give your triceps the attention they deserve. This means hitting all three heads of the tricep: the long head, the lateral head, and the medial head. Exercises like skull crushers or overhead dumbbell extensions are fantastic for the long head, which adds that big sweep to the back of your arm. Close grip bench press will hammer the lateral and medial heads, giving you the classic horseshoe look. And of course, push-downs are great, but vary your attachments. Use a rope, use a straight bar, use a V-bar. Each variation will challenge the muscle slightly differently. A balanced approach is key. Don't be the person with big bicep peaks, but flat, undeveloped triceps. Train them with the same intensity and volume as you do your biceps, if not more. Okay. So, we've established that compound lifts are king and triceps are crucial. Now let's get into the specifics of direct arm training. This is where we apply the science of hypertrophy. The number one mistake I see is people just swinging weight around. They use momentum, they don't control the negative, and they have no mind-muscle connection. To build muscle, you need to create tension. That means controlling every single rep. For bicep curls, for example, focus on squeezing the bicep at the top of the movement for a full second. Then, control the weight on the way down. The eccentric, or lowering phase, is arguably the most important part of the lift for muscle growth. Don't just let the weight drop. Fight gravity on the way down for a count of 2 or 3 seconds. This creates way more muscle damage and metabolic stress, which are the primary drivers of growth. This applies to every arm exercise. Feel the muscle working. If you're doing a skull crusher and you feel it more in your elbows or shoulders, the weight is too heavy or your form is off. Lighten the load, perfect your form, and focus on that deep stretch and powerful contraction in the target muscle. Quality over quantity, always. Let's talk about programming. How do you fit all this into your weekly routine? You don't need a separate arm day. In fact, for most people, that's not the most effective way. Your arms are a small muscle group. They recover relatively quickly, which means you can and should train them more frequently. A great approach is to hit your biceps and triceps to 3 times per week. You can pair them with your main workouts. For example, after your chest day, when your triceps are already warmed up, Do 2 or 3 tricep isolation exercises. After your back day, when your biceps are already fired up from all the pulling, do 2 or 3 bicep exercises. This is incredibly efficient. You're training the arms when they're already primed, and you're getting that higher frequency, which is proven to be superior for growth. How much volume? A good starting point is around 10 to 14 total sets per week for biceps, and the same for triceps. This includes the work they get from compound lifts. So, on your direct arm training days, you might only need 6 to 8 quality sets for each. It's not about annihilating your arms for 2 hours straight. It's about smart, consistent, high-quality work spread throughout the week. Now let's touch on something that will supercharge your results: intensity techniques. Once you've mastered your form and you're consistently getting stronger, you can start strategically adding these in to push past plateaus. I'm talking about things like drop sets, supersets, and rest pause sets. For example, on your last set of dumbbell curls, once you hit failure, immediately grab a pair of dumbbells that are 30% lighter and rep out to failure again. That's a drop set. It extends the time your muscle is under tension and pushes you beyond normal muscular failure. Or, you can do supersets. This is where you pair a bicep exercise with a tricep exercise with little to no rest in between. For instance, a set of barbell curls immediately followed by a set of tricep push-downs. This gives you an insane pump and is incredibly time efficient. But a word of caution: don't overdo these. Use them sparingly, maybe on the last set of an exercise, once or twice a week. They are very taxing on your central nervous system, and recovery is just as important as the training itself. Use them as a tool, not the entire toolbox. Finally, and this might be the most important point of all, you cannot outtrain a bad diet. All this hard work in the gym will be for nothing if you're not fueling your body properly for growth. To build muscle, you need to be in a slight calorie surplus. That means consuming slightly more calories than your body burns each day. You don't need to get fat. A surplus of 200 to 300 calories is a great starting point. And you must get enough protein. Protein is the building block of muscle. Aim for around 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Distribute this throughout the day, and don't forget about sleep. Sleep is when your body releases growth hormone and repairs the muscle tissue you broke down in the gym. If you're only getting 5 hours of sleep a night, you are severely limiting your potential to grow. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Training, nutrition, and recovery, they are the 3 legs of the stool. If one is missing, the whole thing falls over. You have to be consistent with all 3. So, to recap everything, build your foundation with heavy compound lifts. Give your triceps as much, if not more, attention than your biceps. Focus on impeccable form, controlling every rep and maximizing tension. Train your arms to 3 times per week with moderate volume instead of a single arm day. Strategically use intensity techniques like drop sets to break through plateaus. And finally, nail your nutrition and recovery. There are no shortcuts. Building impressive arms takes time, consistency, and hard work. But if you follow these principles, you will stop wasting your time and you will start seeing the real, sustainable results you've been working for. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel for more no-nonsense fitness content. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next. Now go get to work, and I'll see you in the next one.